Swords and Swords, presented by The Barn. I am Micah. We have Alyssa here. Hey, Alyssa.
Hey.
Married Alyssa. Mrs. Alyssa.
Mrs. Alyssa.
And, yeah, we're back after a while. With I'll confess, we lost an episode that we did, so that's kind of why it's been a while. We had a file get corrupted.
It was so good.
It was good.
So
We'll redo it. It was one of the years in gaming. But I'll take the blame for it, I guess. The file got corrupted when I moved it, and I didn't get to it soon. Once I got back and checked, it was gone. So
it's technology. Just imagine that we made you laugh, we made you cry. It was just amazing. We talked about all of your favorite games.
Yep, there's a bunch of banging music that you love. It's all your favorite songs.
Yeah.
But anyway, excited to be back together today after a while. Two main focuses today. Kingdom Hearts, which we love and adore for the most part.
Yeah.
We got some new screen caps and things like that. So we're going to kind of go through that and dissect that and get excited about it and talk about kind of some stuff that's been on the internet about it. And then can you pronounce that? When I hear, because she says it in the song a couple times, she says Clair Obscur.
Yeah.
So, Expedition 33. So how do you say that whole, is it just Clair Obscur?
Yeah. Yeah.
Clair Obscur Expedition 33, which you finished last night.
Yeah.
Or the main story last night. I know you've said that that's one of the best games you've ever played in your life. I almost bought it. I'll talk about that in a little while. So we're going to focus on those two things today. Those are both kind of relevant things that we love. So let's go ahead and dive into that. So first of all, we talked about the trailer a little bit. You said you didn't really remember it, and for good reason, because the Kingdom Hearts 4 reveal trailer came out 3 years ago.
Yeah.
3 years ago. But this is pretty standard, like we're used to this.
Right.
So that came out in 2022. And we got some new screenshots of, or screen caps, I guess. So actual footage from in the game of Kingdom Hearts 4, along with a announcement of canceling Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. Did you hear about that part of it?
Yeah.
Okay, so Kingdom Hearts Missing Link was going to be an iOS, mobile, Android thing. Have you played any of those?
No, I mean the ones that they like remade for the handhelds, like the DS and stuff. I have.
Okay.
Or like it was like 3.8 recoded, whatever.
Yeah.
They like put one of like the cutscenes of that one. I did that, but I never played on my phone.
Gotcha. Me neither. I tried to catch up with story because there is, man, like all of that is canon still.
Right.
So if you don't want to play those mobile Kingdom Hearts games, they still have like valuable narrative pieces in them. So you have to like either watch like a condensed thing to see all the cutscenes or read a review or a synopsis of it. So anyway, there's going to be a new one of those called Missing Link, and it got canceled. But the same day that they announced that it got canceled, they released these screen caps and put out this big statement about we're working really hard on Kingdom Hearts 4. So here's some breadcrumbs as far as that stuff goes. So let's take a look at what they released. First, they released it in like a collage, as you'll see here. So we got, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 images. So this is all we have. But it does have gameplay. It's got some character things. It has Mickey. I want to dive into this. So when you initially saw like this full collage, what was like your first impression? Like, did you get excited about it, or you're like, okay?
Honestly, I kind of just scrolled past it. I'm gonna be totally honest.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like it's just like Kingdom Hearts has become like beating a dead horse for me at this point. I enjoyed 3, but I just feel like they're really just hanging that worm and dangling it for so long that I'm like, okay, it'll come out and I'll play it. Like,
Well, that's what they did with 3, though.
oh yeah, and but the thing was like, I was holding on to that for 3 for so long. I was so excited for so long, and then after it took so long, and I played 3 and I enjoyed it. It was fine. With 4, I'm like, I'll play it when it comes out. Yeah.
Kind of same, but when I saw this, it's just nice to hear something from Square Enix about it. So it was, I'm sure it sucked for a lot of people to hear that the mobile game got canceled, because I'm sure people do love those. And
especially in Japan. I feel like people in Japan, it's so big.
Mobile and handheld gaming is way bigger in Japan.
Yeah.
People are always on subways, public transit stuff. I know the Switch is really big there, so I can see that.
Yeah.
My question is, as they release this like collage, is like, what did they do, or along with the announcement of the cancellation is what are they doing with that story that was in there? Because like I said, like everything's canon, but what are they doing with the story of the game that got canceled? Does it go into Kingdom Hearts 4?
Yeah.
Is it not relevant enough that I don't know? So I don't get that. Anyway, so let's break this down. Break it down. So the top image is gameplay. It's straight gameplay screen cap. When I first saw this image, and I think I even posted in our Birds and Swords Facebook group, I was like, this looks like ass. Doesn't it look like ass?
This is the image that got me the most excited, but
Oh, really?
I guess I love the gameplay, so just seeing all the like colors and the menu interface and everything just gets me excited. And I don't know, I'm excited for it. The gameplay is my favorite part about Kingdom Hearts because I can't follow the story anymore. So just seeing something that looks relatively familiar, but I guess the more I look at it, yeah,
it looks like Kingdom Hearts 2. It looks like a PS2 game.
the Heartless look buff.
Yeah, they do. But that's the first thing I noticed. We talked about the trailer that came out 3 years ago. It does take place in this setting. This world is called Quadratum, starting with a Q, Quadratum.
Okay.
Which in the trailer they present, she's like, think of it as the afterworld. And I'm like, it already sounds too complicated for afterworld.
Right.
Who died?
Well, I know a lot of the fans are wondering if it'll take place in like The World Ends With You, because they had some characters from it in previous games, and that like matches because it takes place in like Shinjuku. Oh no, how do you say it? Sorry, Japan.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's kind of the similarity. A lot of people were kind of piecing those together a long time ago. I don't know if they still are.
Maybe.
But that would make sense with the afterworld theme.
Yeah, I guess you're right. This setting is the same setting as the trailer, where it's very Tokyo-esque, modern city, which is a little off-putting for me because if you look at all the images, it's like, where's the Disney stuff? And if you played Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3, none of it really takes place in like the real world. Like,
yeah,
I don't know, like Traverse Town is the real world, I guess, but everything's like cartoony and kind of overdone and brick streets and like this is like modern. There's cars, there's vehicles, bridges and overpasses and skyscrapers, and that's not the setting that I want to be teased with. You know what I mean?
I feel like I mean, maybe they'll still do all the cartoony fun stuff, and this is just what they're showing us. But I just feel like there's a big disconnect with Square Enix and what the fans enjoy at this point. So we'll see.
Perhaps. We want Disney and we want Final Fantasy characters.
Yeah.
We want like Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2.
Right.
Let's break down this picture, though. First of all, thing I noticed is his feet and shoes are not large enough. Those look like regular sized feet to me.
Canceled. Yeah.
We gotta.
His feet have been getting smaller because in like the first game, because I had like the art book, they really tried to give him that Mickey Mouse look.
Yeah.
You know, like the big feet and like the over cartoony look and the crazy hair. And then as the games progressed, his feet did get a little smaller, but still big feet. And now here we are.
Yeah, they just look like normal size. And what are those blue tennis shoes? He's always had like big yellow sneakers on.
Yeah, he's too fly now.
So
like a little K-pop star.
That was one of the first things I noticed. What some other people noticed is, and it's hard to see in this image, there's actually another top image that was like the Japanese teaser photo where it's this same setting, but it's a little different angle. And you can see his wrist a little better. He is wearing a smartwatch. So they're thinking maybe that has some kind of functionalities, maybe as far as your menu or something, or maybe it's just for style points. I'm not sure.
Jeez.
But he is wearing a smartwatch. The Heartless at the bottom, they kind of look like Sora.
Yeah.
With the spiky hair and things. It's kind of hard to, those are really like bad images of those. So I don't know what's going on with those. I don't know if the one in the middle has a weapon. Like, what is that?
Right.
Or if his arm's just transforming. But they do look like humanoid.
Yeah.
Which we really haven't seen out of Heartless, right?
Not really.
I mean, at least not to this extent to where they look, spiky hair. Like they look like Sora. As far as the action that he's doing, we see the chains there. So is that like a chain of memories type of attack.
It's got to be something similar. Like in the third game, they had all the like carnival rides or the Disney rides and stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like a similar move, or like this makes me think just maybe because of the color palette of like Hercules. So
Yeah.
a move you acquire when you go to the Coliseum for the 10th time.
Yeah, yeah, right. So I did notice the chains because we haven't really seen a move that has like the chains. And in Chain of Memories, the chain effect was like a time traveling type of thing, which I don't see what that's doing here. But it's interesting to see chains just because that's kind of established in the lore. The meter in the bottom right is more like, and this is what I read online too, because I didn't notice it the first time. It's set up more like Kingdom Hearts 1. You can see his health and his MP is the blue. And then the EX meter, which is usually, transitioning towards Valor form and things like that, like dips and goes up this way. You can see it's dark, so you can't really tell what it is. Like it's not full.
Yeah.
But usually it wraps around the same way, so that's like a minor change. And then one of the biggest things, I know it's kind of hard to see here on the commands menu on the left, we have our attack, magic, items. We're all used to that. And then we have build. So is there some kind of gameplay mechanic? At least what's been speculated is that Sora can like scrap and form items like on the fly.
Well, in the second game, you had like the different forms and stuff. So I wonder if it's something similar to that instead, like your character build.
Oh, like your actual character?
Yeah. So maybe you can do different like command builds and
So
stuff.
maybe it's not like an inventory thing, but it's an actual. Yeah, that's interesting. I hadn't heard that.
Did you see online that they put fans put the side by side of his health bar, because he's got the face in the middle, and he gets angrier with each game. He's like all happy in the first game, and then he's kind of in the second game, he's like, and then in the third game, he's like kind of somber, and now he's like all pissed off.
Oh, well, the evolution teenage angst, I guess. No, I hadn't noticed that. That's interesting, though. It's kind of hard to see here, but he does look pretty straight-faced, perturbed or something. But that is a look at the full command menu. My other comment was a really cool like artistic touch that they do is in the command menu. The top part like behind it is usually reflects whatever world you're in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're in The Little Mermaid, it's like an ocean thing or whatever.
Yeah.
If you're in Halloween Town, it's all spooky. So this one just looks like black jagged buildings or something.
Just Tokyo.
So again, where's the Disney stuff? So that's the gameplay. The next image, if we can pronounce her name correctly, is the female that we see. Obviously, a gorgeous character design. Looks really, really, really good. Her name is Strelitzia, and she is from Kingdom Hearts Cross Union, or Union Cross. It's one of those weird names.
I didn't even hear about that one.
It's really an X, but it's like shaped differently or whatever. That's a mobile game as well. So that's her only appearance, as far as I know, is in one of those. So that's why we maybe didn't recognize her like right away. She's also the one that kind of like guides you and talks to Sora in the teaser trailer from 3 years ago. And what we see here is actually a way improved and upgraded version of what we saw in that trailer 3 years ago. So they've obviously worked on her design. But she looks very Square Enix Final Fantasy.
Very.
She almost seems like some kind of guide for Sora. Almost like, Naminé and who else? Well, I guess just Naminé kind of guides him through, a younger female that kind of paves the way for him. In Kingdom Hearts 3, we had, remember the gummy phone? That's like how you communicated to the outside world and stuff, and some of your menu is in the gummy phone. So why the hell do we have a rotary phone as far as the images?
People on the internet are freaking out about this too. People are like, whose phone is this? And everybody's like coming up with theories about who the phone belongs to. And that just shows how deep this fandom goes. Everyone is trying to decipher who this phone belongs to.
I was going to say, I didn't come up with any resolution on what's going on with the phone.
Yeah.
It's all pure speculation. And like I said, we had the gummy phone, which acted like a smartphone. It looked like a smartphone, it had icons and whatever, and you could, go through your stuff on there. But this is not that. So it's got to not have anything to do with gameplay. It's got to be story related.
Maybe they're just showing off, like, look at this sweet graphics. We got the glare and the shine and the shadowing.
It does kind of look like it's, and I didn't read this, it's just me thinking this. From the trailer, Sora like wakes up in a room, because that's what our favorite heroes do. They go to sleep and then they wake up.
Call to adventure.
When our games start. So it's the same kind of thing. It looks like it's lit and stuff, like it's in that room. So I don't know. It probably plays some kind of important role of, it's almost like a bat signal or something. Right. You know what I mean? It's got to play some kind of role, but no one really knows what's going on with that. The one I got most excited for and then a little less excited for was we see Mickey. So Mickey was not playable in Kingdom Hearts 3. He was playable in Kingdom Hearts 2. Was he playable in Kingdom Hearts 1? I think just 2.
No, I think just 2.
Unless I'm trying to think of like 358 days over 2 and games like that. I don't think
you could call his help in Shade of Memories, but he wasn't playable.
Yeah, he acted like a summon.
Yeah.
So we haven't played as Mickey in a while. He's playable in Kingdom Hearts 2, and he's an absolute badass.
He's such a beast.
Like, especially using like lower early level Sora, and then I'm trying to remember where he makes his first appearance. It's like Beast Castle or something. So he like shows up and you've got all these sick ass moves. He's so fast. He's got his own Keyblade. You're like, Mickey's wielding a Keyblade. You get all excited about it.
The cloak and everything. He looks like such a baddie.
Yeah, he looks like he's Organization 13. Anyway, so we got this screenshot, which makes everybody excited because they remember that time, what has it been, like 20 years ago now, where we actually got to play as Mickey. It's hard to tell if he has a Keyblade. I'm guessing that he does here. We just can't kind of see it. A couple big things to notice here is, first of all, he's in a library. So, like, where is this? Is this in Hollow Bastion? Apparently, he was left in I don't even remember where it was now. He was in one of the mobile games. The last time we saw Mickey, he was here, and people are speculating on that. But I think the big thing to notice here is that the command menu is super limited. It only says attack. So this is probably almost like a mini game section type of thing. Like, it's not a full, like, you probably don't spend like a couple hours with him. You probably don't level him up or anything like that. It's got to be like this side thing. But he is on top of the chandelier. I guess he's got a Keyblade because, like I said, it does say attack. But it's super exciting because I want to play as Mickey. It looks like you're playing as him. This doesn't look like a cutscene.
Right, yeah.
Hopefully we get to get some Mickey time. It looks like we're going to. The Heartless. You said you didn't remember the trailer. So in the trailer is mostly Sora fighting this thing.
Oh yeah, see, I don't even remember.
You don't remember that?
No.
Okay, we'll watch it when we take a break, and then you won't be able to speak to it because we'll be done. But he's like the size of a building.
Yeah.
You don't remember any of this? And you do a bunch of like, almost like God of War, like context, like triangle, you move up and
maybe
get in his face and do crazy moves. He looks a little different is basically what I was going to bring up. He looks a little different. He still looks huge, obviously, but it is a new design. It looks like, does it looks like he has wings, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, because he does not have wings in the trailer. He's got like horns. They kind of stick out and are shaped like that, but they come out from his head. This looks like they're on his back. So it looks like
they still look like they're on his head. I think it's just the angle and the shadow. Yeah,
maybe. This is also a weird, warped picture of this. You know what I mean? Like, are we seeing this off of like a monitor or a television screen?
Yeah, or like what is? Yeah, wow. I didn't even notice that till you pointed it out. But why? What's that about?
Yeah. So there's I don't know.
Like they were showing it on an IMAX.
The whole reveal.
Picture.
Yeah, the whole reveal. Right? Yeah, it's like somebody pirated it, and uploaded it to the internet. But I don't know. There's something real cryptic about each of these photos because most of them are like, why?
Right.
But anyway, we see this dude. Looks like a dark side Heartless, so he's like the worst of the worst. New design. And what do you think's going on with the two beams of light here?
The power of friendship, for sure.
Probably the blue one, at least.
It's got to be Goofy and Donald coming in,
Yeah, maybe.
Meteoring in.
Yeah, that's a good point. Where's Goofy and Donald in any of these images? They make the game, basically.
Right. They're such a big part of the game.
Anyway, this looks like the same thing we saw in the trailer. It looks like the same setting, the same area as kind of like that gameplay cap that we saw. Plus, this looks like the same as in the trailer when Sora's fighting him. Just a new kind of image with these two blue lights, or one blue light, one orange light. Maybe it is Donald and Goofy. It's a good theory. Roll with that. Then we have this beautiful picture of Sora that I definitely don't understand either.
You got some cars and some sparkles.
Yeah.
It's like he's in an underpass.
Yeah, or a parking garage
Yeah.
or something. I mean, all the fancy stuff is cool. What I don't like, again, is like the modern, like, is that a Mitsubishi Lancer on the left? I mean, we've got like modern cars here. It just doesn't like fit with the...
Right.
I don't know.
So confused.
It doesn't fit with what I want anyway.
Right.
But I don't know. Like, is this light coming in? Is it like broken glass from an explosion? You can't really tell. If you look at they released another image which looks like the same thing
from like the same cutscene, it seems like.
Yeah,
because now the car is behind him.
But we're looking at Sora instead. So it looks like the same as last image, but from a different angle. But it looks like the same. Yeah, I don't know. I guess something epic is happening, but we just really can't tell what it is.
Like going back to, he looks like a K-pop star now.
Is it because of the collar?
He just like, it's just like they made him so beautiful. Like he looks like he could sing me a song right now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a good time. So that's all of those. But since you kind of segued us into that, so this is Sora over the years, or at least these are the core entries in the franchise. So I put this graphic together because I kind of wanted to show what kind of transition he's gone through. This is how much he's grown up in like 30 years. What's noticeable now is that his hair is a different color.
Yeah.
But let's go back. Okay, so we talked about his feet. So look at these feet.
Right.
Look at his big old
Look
feet.
at the first game, his feet were massive.
Dude.
And look at his shorts, his silly little bell shorts. And he was just such a little cartoon, little kid. Cute.
Yeah. So the furthest one left is Kingdom Hearts 1, and he was, how old were they in that game? Like 10 or 11, 12 maybe, something like that. And yeah, that's like his classic suit, huge feet, classic Keyblade. Of course, he got the classic Keyblade in all of them, I guess.
Yeah.
And then Kingdom Hearts 2, they went a little more mature, I guess. So he's kind of a teenager.
Give him a bunch of straps and a fanny pack.
16, but still huge shoes.
Yep.
Huge.
I liked his outfit in 2 a lot.
Huge pants.
And when you like did the different forms and then would like change colors and stuff, I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I like how in 2 you start off in the old outfit and then the fairies.
Yeah, you like outgrow it.
Yeah, and you're like too big for it. I think that was so cute. That was such a cute transition.
Well, 2 is the best game. That's why.
I would agree with that.
Kingdom Hearts 3, I didn't think really, he looks a year or 2 older from the second game. They didn't make a ton of drastic changes. He looks a little more mature. He did get the evolution of like the collar that we see now, which I thought was interesting. It's almost like his top is the same, at least in his base form. And then I didn't have a full body shot I could really cut, but now we've
totally
got
different look.
his current era.
It's like the graphics of it all is like completely different style. It's so much more Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, let me go back to what we've got on the right here for Sora for Kingdom Hearts 4 is obviously takes place within a cinematic. If we go back to let's go back to this. I mean, it's definitely the same color palette. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I've got them side by side here. Nice. But obviously it's not quite as detailed.
Yeah.
But he's wearing the same kind of outfit. And I don't know if I like the outfit. He's almost like casual, too cool guy.
Right. Yeah. It's so much. That's something I noticed with Square Enix since, I don't know, Final Fantasy, 12 or maybe 13. Yeah, let's say 13. I feel like they've taken such a modern take and such a like bland character design approach that it's just like not as eccentric and like out there and memorable as the games used to be for anything Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts now. It's just like it feels like that whole company is just like, well, let's just like make them more relatable, which isn't really what the fans want. Like I want the eccentric gay look.
Okay, so you've been playing, I just kind of thought of this just now. You've been playing Final Fantasy, since it was kind of goofy. PS2,
Yeah.
more of a cartoony animated look. Well, I don't know, the cutscenes weren't, I guess. It was like breaking edge CGI back in the day. So do you think, or even Cloud compared to his original version, so do you feel like it's kind of the same thing that we're seeing from Square Enix? Like, or do you just not have that issue with Final Fantasy?
No, I think I definitely have that issue. I think like the remake keeps their old style, just kind of modernizes it, like with like the graphics. But like Final Fantasy 15 was very, very modern. They were dressed like very normal, very bland. I liked the characters still. But then Final Fantasy 16 was so boring. The character designs were beyond bland. It was just like, I don't even remember their names. It was just so boring. And I feel like it just in general, Square Enix has like taken this new approach of like, I don't know if like their like lead character designer left, but the characters used to just look so unique and these very like beautiful eccentric looks that really matched the world. And lately it's like he's wearing a watch now and he looks like a K-pop star and like it just feels bland.
I get that. Like it's not as quite as flamboyant or individualistic. It's more samey, more modern.
Yeah.
Especially with, I couldn't tell you what this Final Fantasy 16 characters look like.
Well, you just picture.
I feel like Final Fantasy 15, the characters were a little older though, right? They were like early 20s. It wasn't like a late teen like where Final Fantasy usually lands.
Yeah. And they took a more modern approach, which was pretty new to the series as a whole. It was less like fantasy. It was still fantasy, but they had like cars and stuff. So like I let it slide. I still liked the characters and stuff. I didn't write a letter to my local senator, but
I was gonna say, were you on the like quarterly earnings call and you're like, well, this actually
but I was really disappointed in 16 and it felt like they had been making their way towards that since probably like 13. And
you worry that the same mistakes are going to happen here?
Yeah, I just feel like they're trying to modernize and in a way that the fans don't really want. I think that they're like trying to be like hip and cool to maybe appeal to like the Gen Z generation, be like relate, like look at you look like him, you dress like him. But I think that was such a pull for the old Square Enix games was how eccentric and flamboyant these characters were.
Yeah.
I mean, think of Waka from 10. What was his hair doing?
What does it even do? Yeah.
And think of like all the belts that the characters used to have. I mean, Lulu had a dress made of belts. Like it was just like it was so over the top and like something you'd see on like weird ass New York runways. And now it's just kind of something you'd see in streetwear, like from like influencers.
Yeah, do better, Square.
Yeah,
do better.
Disappointed.
Yeah, I get that take. I get that take and that worry with the same thing happening here because, like I said, the modern thing doesn't really necessarily jive. I mean, they can do what they want; it's their game, but it doesn't jive with the things that I loved about Kingdom Hearts. And my biggest takeaway from all of these images is that there is absolutely no. Well, we got Mickey, I guess, so I guess that's a lie. But there's like no Disney feel to it. And that's what makes Kingdom Hearts so great is the Disney license and popping into these worlds and being able to visit all and play with these characters that you loved from your childhood.
Yeah.
Like, where is all of that? Because I feel like the community... That's why they love Kingdom Hearts as well.
Right.
I know 3 did a really good job of that and then didn't include like the Final Fantasy characters.
Right. And then the main plot wasn't until the last 8 hours of the game and it was all at once.
Yeah, so maybe we're being a little too demanding, but we want what the first like 2 games had, which was this awesome mashup of these Disney universes along with these Final Fantasy characters that we really loved. And we were like, holy shit, how does this work? It just does. And it was just like, it was like magical.
Yeah.
I don't think that's like a too big a thing to say is that it was like this magical pairing that
I mean, they have to know that Kingdom Hearts 2 was like their baby. Like everyone loves Kingdom Hearts 2. Yeah. So why can't they just follow that formula?
Yeah, keep doing. It's not like you have to make the same game, but
right. But the formula's there. Like you know what works. Plus, you know what we want.
Plus, there's 10 years between every like core Kingdom Hearts game at least, and every time we lead up to that, there's like 7 new Pixar and Disney movies that come out. So we're like, oh, I wonder if this is going to be, is this going to be in the new Kingdom Hearts game? So I feel like there's plenty of like Disney content to fill it with.
Yeah.
But
love to see a Moana world.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Plus, that fits like the ocean vibe from the first 2 games, like where they all became best friends.
Yes.
What's it? Destiny Island or whatever it is. And And it's probably irresponsible to say that we're not going to see any of that. It's just disappointing that we didn't get them in any of these new.
These like screenshots feel so random. Just it feels like
they're leaning into what they showed in the trailer in this new modern.
Yeah.
Get the cars out of there. No, we don't need cars unless it's get Pixar cars.
Right.
With Lightning McQueen.
Oh my God, Sora is a car and Donald and Goofy.
Oh my God.
Make Goofy a tractor.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You'd be like the Mater kind of thing going on. Man, I haven't even thought of that. See, there's so many ways you could go. But we do love Kingdom Hearts. We keep saying we're going to do a full Kingdom Hearts episode, and we'll do that at some point and to talk about more of our love for it in detail. But it's still exciting that we at least get reminded that they're working on this.
Yeah.
They did not announce any kind of release date. No surprise.
Yeah.
Which
Give it
means,
another 3 years.
Well, we're in the middle of 2025, so it's probably not going to come out next year either.
No way. Not a
I
chance.
mean, maybe, but we'll see. Still fun to get teased on it, I guess, though, and get some new content with some new screenshots and create this new kind of internet stir. I know that how algorithms are these days. So I looked at the screenshots and went through the comments, and now I have like Kingdom Hearts in my feed like all the time.
Yes.
Like, what is the best? Why is the ultimate weapon not the best weapon? So I'm getting all these Kingdom Hearts things in my feed. So it's kind of created more conversation about it. I'm sure it's blown up on Reddit and everything. So all of that is fun to get excited about because it is one of our favorites. But more Disney.
More Disney. Give me more Disney. I want to see Cars. I want to see Moana. I want to see these worlds that you're going to throw in.
Yeah. Or what other big ones? Inside Out?
Inside Out would be so cute. I don't know.
I don't know what they'd turn into. Would they turn into emotions?
Oh, God. Oh, I don't know. It'd be so... Oh, they could do it, though. Because, I mean, man, the way they did Toy Story was awesome.
Yeah.
And Monsters, Inc., I mean, they could do anything after doing those.
Yeah.
Man.
Or even Lion King. Remember, they were freaking animals.
Yeah.
Like that. They made that work.
I mean, if they could do Little Mermaid.
I don't want to talk about Little Mermaid.
Hey, the first game was great. The second game was weird.
Yeah, because it was all songs.
Yeah.
Sora is a merman.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Okay, let's take a break. We're still excited for Kingdom Hearts, but we want to talk about another great game that's just came out. And by the way, people keep calling it a JRPG, and I'm like, no, it's an FRPG.
Yeah, I looked that up actually because it is technically classified as a JRPG because of the elements of the game, because it's just become its own genre, even though it's not Japanese. But I was really confused about that too. But technically, it is classified as a JRPG, but we should call it.
It's French. It's French. French as fuck.
Yes, it's so French.
We'll talk about that right after this.
Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this episode. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service, and it's 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 25,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, you just answer a few questions about your needs and preferences in therapy. That way, BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network. Then you can talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable, whether it's via text, chat, phone, or video call. You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't the right fit for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who is custom picked for you, more scheduling flexibility, and at a more affordable price. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/thebarn. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/thebarn.
Welcome back to Birds and Swords. Had fun talking about Kingdom Hearts, but let's pivot. Let's shift to another game.
Yes.
The best game. What's it called?
Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
And you were only like 5 hours in, and you texted me and you go, this is the greatest game I've ever. This is my favorite game of all time.
I think it is. Yeah.
Something extraordinary.
Yeah.
And you knew this like
so early
on. So how did it hook you? Well, explain what it is, I guess, and then how did it hook you so fast?
Well, I guess, yeah. So let's just start at the beginning, how I found this game. Historically, I do not play games on release ever.
Yeah, that's true.
And I had never heard of this game before. And I was actually stuck on Metaphor. I'm on like the very end. And I'm just like, I was frustrated. I'm running out of days and I'm not leveled enough for the final boss and to do the dragons and whatever. So I told Zach, I was like, I want to play a new game. And I was just browsing on the PlayStation store. And I saw it like as one of the featured, like, you will like this. But I didn't click on it. I just kept scrolling. So then I was just doom scrolling on Facebook. And I saw something like, turn-based RPG rocks the world or whatever, just like this random article. I was like, turn-based? Okay. So I went back to the PlayStation store and I said, fuck it, I'm going to buy it. I didn't realize it came out 2 days ago. So 2 days after release, I bought this game. $50 indie game. And it was created by people at Ubisoft who were literally bored and just... I don't know if they got laid off or got fired or if they left on purpose. I don't know that part of the lore. But
I feel like they're former members of Ubisoft.
And
I don't know the whole story.
The interviews, like the director of Expedition 33 said he was bored at Ubisoft, so he made this game. And essentially, I booted it up, and it is perfect. It is one of the best games I've ever played. It's the best soundtrack I've ever in my life heard in a video game.
You went soundtrack like right out of the gate.
Yeah. They found the guy who composed the soundtrack on SoundCloud. They just
you told me
him.
that.
And like he was just discovered. He was just a guy who loves music, and every day he posted. He wasn't trying to be discovered. He was just like a music teacher. He just posted because he loved it and wanted to get better. They found him, and he went balls to the wall with this soundtrack. I am not kidding. It is incredible, and everything just matches the tone of every world, every battle. I mean, and there's so much range. I don't know anything about music.
I was going to talk about the variety of it. Do you, before we get into that, do you know if the soundtrack were any of those songs already like complete and originally done, or did
he did them for the game?
He did them all for the game.
Yeah. So he, from what I understood from the interviews, was they kind of, so they found the writer on Reddit, the person who wrote the story, which is also impeccable. One of the best stories I've ever played in a game. We'll get into that. So they basically met with the writer and the developers, and they said, this is the story. Here's a little bit of footage. And he, in his interview, he said, what I loved about this game was that the heroes lose. Is like they've already lost when you start the game. And he's like, this really set the tone, and it gave him so much to run with. And he fucking ran with it. It's so good. It's just, I'm obsessed. I listen to it when I work out. I listen to it when I work. I listen to it in the car.
I saw that it at least made some kind of headlines because it was like the top streamed, like that category, like best or top streaming original soundtrack or whatever for the month of April, I think it was, because I think it came out at the beginning of April, maybe in March. But
it was like end of April.
April was the wheelhouse for this game for most people, or at least when it was trending. Or well, it's still trending.
It came out mid-April because it was 2 days. It was like 2 days after I got back from the wedding was when I bought it, and it came out 2 days prior. So it was like mid-April. Yeah. So that's when I had to really hit.
The soundtrack took over, and you're right. It is cool. I made the kind of like sizzle gameplay video that you did, and I messaged you and I was like, hey, give me some. I can tell that the soundtrack's like kick ass. Why don't you send me some of your favorites? And you sent me like 6 or 7 songs. I only used 3 of them, I think. It was hard to leave stuff out because of how good it was.
So good.
And you're totally right. It's totally varied. And you see that in a lot of, especially JRPGs where the music is very, it's got these slow, somber cinematic moments, and there's always some kick-ass, battle music, and man, it's got a whole different vibe to it. It's
like 6 hours of music.
It adds a lot.
It's so much. But anyway, let's talk about the game. Has the soundtrack already?
We've actually
jumped in too far.
Yeah, we've actually got that. Do you want me to go ahead and play the video while you kind of explain the story and things like that?
Yeah. So essentially, the story is you're in a city called Lumiere. And every year, it's like it feels like this like big creature, woman, maybe God, paints a number on a monolith. This number represents the age that everyone is going to die. So it counts down every year. It started at 100. So this year is 33. So you start the game and everyone who's 33 is about to die. So they essentially get Thanos snapped. They turn into like rose petals and everything.
Sure.
So the opening sequence is like essentially you say, like it starts so sad because you see these kids lose their parents and like everybody, it's just so deep. So you are on
every year it gets 1 year less.
Yes.
Oh,
so next year will be 32 and 31 and it'll keep going down. So essentially every year an expedition of mostly it's people who are going to die the following year. So everybody who's 32 joins the expedition, other than one girl who's 16 who just really wants to kick ass. She joins, but it's called the expedition number of that monolith year. So expedition 33.
So everybody in your party is 33?
Other than Mayel, she's 16.
For
with
the girl with the hair?
Yeah, the silly ass hair. So you go on an expedition to stop what's called the paintress, the one that paints the monolith with the number. And you leave Lumiere and go into this fantastical world, absolutely beautiful. Every like dungeon, I guess if you would call it that, is so different and gorgeous. And one thing that's so unique that I so struggle with, there are no maps. There's no maps.
Yeah, you told me that. And you can kind of see that here. There's no like HUD. Like you have to figure out where you're going.
So you have like a main map on like the continent, which is what you explore overall. But when you go into dungeons, there's no map because you're an expedition. You're exploring, and you can find journals from previous expeditions, which is amazing because they were all known for certain things. Like one was the climbing expedition, and one was the buff ass, kick ass. We didn't even wear clothes because we were so buff expedition. And it's just like there's so much lore to the game, and the game is in 3 acts. And I without spoilers, I will say that at the end of every act, I cried. It's so good. The story is so much deeper than you even realize. They just keep building on it. There's a twist and turn at everything. All of the characters are so lovable. The voice acting is incredible. The story, I mean, so it was so good that last night was when I beat the main story. And before I fought the final boss, I was crying because I didn't want the game to end. Like I was like actually crying because I just didn't want it to end. Like just for that reason. It was so good. And it's such a meaningful self-exploration story too. You learn a lot about yourself through the game. It's just so deep and really well done.
Is that because of like the dialogue that you get to choose, or
it's really not a lot of choices?
Choice.
There's not really a choice-based game, I would say, until the very end. You make one final choice, and the final choice is truly a test if you understood the message of the game. And I failed.
Oh no.
I failed, and Zach made fun of me.
Game over? Like what happened?
It's not game over. There's just multiple endings based off your choice. And the endings really show you like if you took away the message that this game was presenting or not. And it teaches you a lot about yourself and how you handle things, certain difficult things in your own life. And it's so, I don't want to spoil anything. It's so good. I cannot express how deep and meaningful this story is. And it's really unpredictable. Like from the first 10 hours of the game, there is truly no way you can predict the ending. There's no way. Absolutely. Zero. It's so creative and unique and incredible. I just am so blown away. But I have not played a game that made me feel this way from the plot or the soundtrack in so long. It's amazing.
And I think you also messaged me and you said, or maybe I messaged you and like, what are you playing or something? And you said, well, I'm working from 9 to 5 or 8:30 to 5. And then at 5:01, I start playing Expedition 33 until I go to bed at like 11 or midnight.
Yeah.
And then I wake up and I go to work and I work until 5.
Yes.
And then at 5:01, I start playing Expedition 33.
Yes. It's incredible.
I'm so happy for you because that kind of like being consumed by a game doesn't happen like super often. That's the same experience I had with Persona.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you're thinking about it all the time.
Yes.
You can't wait to
I'm
play
obsessed with it. And I told Zach when I was playing this game, I have not felt this way playing a game since I played Final Fantasy X when I was like 13.
Wow.
I like that because that game totally took over my whole life. I was like drawing the characters in school and stuff. Like this game took over everything for me. I just am like, whatever game this company releases next, Sandfall, I will buy it. I don't care. I don't care if they call it Call of Duty. I'll buy it. I don't care. This is just so incredible. And like moving on from the story, the gameplay is so amazing. It's turn-based.
Yeah, we've been seeing some of it here. Yeah, it's totally turn-based. So what makes it, there's a lot of games that are turn-based, right? So what makes it unique in its game? Well, we just came up to the end of the video. I'll play it again.
That's okay. So it runs a lot like Persona, and a mixture of Persona and Final Fantasy, like the old school with the turn-based. But what makes it so unique is that it's so immersive and interactive because you can, in real time, dodge and parry. So when the enemies attack, you can dodge if you time it right. And if you're even better at the timing, you can parry. And if you parry all their attacks, then you get to do a counter attack. There's also something called gradient attacks, which is another attack they do that if you parry that in a different like button command, then you do a really massive damage attack to them. They also have jump attacks that you can dodge with a different button command. So it's very interactive, very real time. It's not just who's taking more damage. It's not just strategy based. People are calling it, I don't know if I totally agree with this, Souls-like turn-based because of how important it is to be able to dodge and parry these moves. You can easily beat the game without dodging a single thing. You're going to beat it much faster if you're good at it. So I don't know if it's really Souls-like in that way.
Yeah.
But they're calling it like Souls-like turn-based because of that aspect.
Well, I mentioned some like internet backlash, which is the first I've seen of that, and it's all centered around that stuff.
Really?
Is like the dodge and parry.
Why?
And that you always have to be on the buttons. Like there's a certain group of like true whatever that doesn't enjoy that part of the game.
I think all they did was modernize turn-based because
I find it. I think I would like it more because it keeps you busy. Like
Yeah.
it keeps you,
it gives you a one-up too because I've seen people who are really good at this game stream it, and they've gone up against bosses that you should not fight until you're 20 levels higher, but because they parried every move, they were able to beat it. So it really is like a skill issue battle. Like you can really progress in like the side quests and other bosses, extra dungeons, if you're good enough much earlier in the game. So I think it just really gives people who are actually good at the game the chance to showcase that and experience more. I don't parry because I suck, but I will dodge.
I noticed that from your gameplay.
Yeah.
It's lots of evades and
Yeah.
dodges.
Yeah, parrying is hard. It's like split second. It's so hard to parry unless you fought the enemy like 50 times and know their skill
I think
set.
some of the complaint on it was that we're going into some gameplay here, that it was exactly that, like the being able to be good at it kind of like cheese the game, and that's what people were upset about.
Then just
Partly
don't
with all of
parry
that.
if you want, because you can because a streamer just released a full stream of him not dodging a single attack and beating the game. So if they want to play it that way, you can. Nobody's stopping you.
Yeah.
Nobody's making you dodge the attacks. I mean, obviously, because I suck, I wasn't dodging half of them anyway. So it like you can play true turn based. It's not like a setting. Just don't dodge.
Plus, like some of the moves here, like you have to hit the context sensitive, like the timing things with certain face buttons. Ooh, see, you ripped off a bunch of dodges there, or like that.
Yeah.
It just makes, hitting attack in a turn-based format, more immersive when you actually have to like pull it off
Right.
afterwards.
And I will say this game actually did provoke a lot of anger in me too. I actually got really, really mad at Square Enix because of this game, because they have come out multiple times and said turn-based is dead and people don't want it anymore. And that's why games like the Final Fantasy remake were not turn-based, which I think I would have loved. I mean, I didn't hate the combat. I just feel like it's behind the times. It was fine. It was whatever. I didn't hate it. But if Final Fantasy VII remake could have done this,
Yeah.
I mean, fuck.
I would prefer it that way. I
Yeah,
think.
so they charged me $70 per game plus DLC for something that they could have done better, is what I'm saying. And that pissed me off.
So is this a boss, like a true
Yeah.
boss battle, or is it like a mini boss? Are there mini bosses?
Everything feels like a boss when they have that big
Yeah.
health bar.
Yeah. Health bar and then an extra like armor bar or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. This was a true boss, but it was such a fun one. one of the best bosses in the game.
And this is a cool little sequence too.
Yeah.
Like once you like nail all the commands, it throws you into like this cinematic, like makes you feel like a badass.
Yeah, and the whole game really makes you feel like such a badass. I mean, the gameplay is just impeccable, and the leveling system is really smooth. There's a lot of layers to it, but because it's a short game, it's a very linear RPG, which is like not common with turn-based. It's very linear with exploration. So the leveling system kind of has to work a little fast. It has to like kind of streamline a little bit, but they do it really well. Other than leveling and leveling up your skills, you have something called pictos, which you can attach like additional skills, and then you can learn those pictos and they become lumina. You can really stack those. I know a lot of people are confused by them, but if you take the time to learn them, it's actually like really OP. Like you can become really good at the game by stacking them. It's just incredible. And the characters are so lovable, and their fighting styles are so different and unique.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that. Like some seem more like an agile approach. Like, are there classes?
Not really.
Are there different?
Like, it feels like, like, because you kind of got Lune, which is going to be like green mage or whatever. But like, there's not, you don't pick their classes or anything. They just kind of have the class feel.
Yeah.
But you can like choose where you upgrade their skill sets as well. Like, I have like strength for Verso is way upgraded, whereas like Mayel, I did a lot of defense upgrades. So you can kind of like upgrade that as they level up as well. Choose what their attributes go to.
Yeah.
The gameplay is just absolutely phenomenal. It's addicting.
Can you like max their skill tree, or do you definitely have to go in a certain direction?
You can max it.
You can max it?
Yeah, so they all have their own skill tree, and then you can kind of max it out. I'm not there. I did look it up. The max level is 99. I'm about 75 right now. So I beat the main story just because I realized I was so over leveled for it, because I didn't want to beat it so bad. I did all the side stuff, and then I just completely demolished the final boss, because I think you can beat it at like 55,
Why didn't they just
60.
have level scaling, like like Borderlands does?
I don't like that.
You don't like that?
No. But I think that works well too, because you kind of explore, get your ass whooped, and go find a different boss. Because like I said, the story is linear, but there's a lot of exploration aspects. There's extra dungeons you can do, and tons of optional bosses.
Is it one big open world, or is it multiple open sections?
It's an open world with dungeon portals. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like you kind of explore the world, and then you can kind of go into the portal and do the dungeon. So kind of in that aspect, it's not a big map at all, but there's tons to do.
Right.
Yeah. It's just perfect. What else is there about the game? The gameplay, the soundtrack, the story. What else makes up a game? It's perfect.
Yeah.
The voice acting is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And, like everything.
And there's some French in it. We didn't talk about how French it was. So all of this is done within the borders of France. So everybody that worked on the game, I think you mentioned the artist that worked on the soundtrack, I think is French even. So it's like all French.
You're like literally, you can get these outfits where you have a baguette on your back. Like it looks like you have like a gun, but it's like a baguette. I
did see that. Yeah, like a fucking 2.5 foot.
Yeah, it's aggressively French. Yeah. But it's beautiful, and the soundtrack being in French is really beautiful.
Isn't there some dialogue in French that has to be subtitled? Or am I making that up? They
say some words in French.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're like. Yeah, but they don't really subtitle it. They just say the French word, and I just assume what it means.
Yeah.
It's like the gamage is what is like when everybody gets Thanos at that age, that just, it means the scrubbing, I guess, technically. Don't quote me on that. That's what I looked up. But they still call it the gamage. It sounds better.
How long has this been going on? This countdown? Did it start at 100?
Yeah, started at 100. So the first expedition was Expedition 0, but then they counted down. So it was 99, 98, blah, 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 blah. So you're Expedition 33. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just phenomenal. It's just so
Yeah, I'm going to play it. I'm mad that you didn't buy it physical. But also at the same time, it's been really hard to find physical.
Is it even out on physical?
It came out like I don't know. It was like a layered release. It came out like 2 weeks after or something. It exists. It definitely exists. But it was also like out of stock everywhere. Because like I was telling you, I was like, I'm going to buy it today. And then I was trying to order it online, but I couldn't use the in-store credit that I had correctly on a thing. I don't even remember what happened. I got real pissy about it. I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to keep playing the show, which has been going great, by the way.
Yeah.
But I was getting ready to buy it, and then I didn't. But I still
It's so worth it. I mean, just like one of the boss fights, I was literally crying from how beautiful it is. Like it's
during it.
Yeah, she's like whooping my ass, and I was like, this is amazing. Like it was like, this game is just unmatched. And I don't, like you asked me earlier, what am I going to play after this? I don't know that I can for a while.
Take a break.
Like I mean, I'm going back. I beat the main story. I'm going to literally do everything that's possible in the game. I'm going to fight all the bosses, find all the collectibles.
You should platinum it. Like, look at all the trophies.
Yeah, I have to do New Game Plus for that. I don't typically do that. But
I know you're not a big trophy person, but a lot of times the platinums, if it's a game you really like it takes you to every corner of the game.
Yeah.
Like if you platinum it, you'll see everything that game has to offer.
That's true. Yeah.
There's kind of that take on it. So maybe you should look at the trophy set.
Yeah, maybe I do that. It's
unless it has like a beat it on expert mode and you have to replay the whole thing. Like the God of War games are like that.
Yeah. I know that's for some of it to platinum, you do have to do New Game Plus. Maybe I'm not like a big like replay girly, but this might be the exception. I don't see myself playing a game ever again after this.
Do you think it can be different enough if you play it again?
I don't know. I don't know what New Game Plus
You're going to have the same characters, right?
Yeah.
Like
it's going to be the same characters and story, but I think a lot of stuff carries over, and then the bosses are harder.
It has a New Game Plus? Did you say that? Is that what you said?
Yeah. But it's just,
that means it probably has like some New Game Plus trophies in it.
Yeah, for sure. It's just incredible. It's an indie game. Yeah. It's an indie game.
And it was kind of out of nowhere. I did look back. They did promote it and stuff, but people are just kind of ho-hum. Who is Sandfall? Is that who makes it? I think it's their first game.
It is. Their very first game.
They might not even make another one. It feels like one of those
please.
It feels like one of those projects where like, hey, we just got some people we were close to together and made this kick-ass game. You also shared there were some cool like Easter eggy things, like the dog. There was a dog. They gave. There's a dog in the credits or something.
Yeah, so there's a dog like on the development team, and he's the happiness manager. If you look at the Sandfall Interactive website, he's at the bottom. He's listed as the happiness manager.
Yeah, he like hangs out in the office sometimes.
But they named a character after him too, because the dog's name is Minoko, and one of the characters you play as is Minoko.
Oh, nice.
So that's really cute. And
the team is only
30 people.
I've seen a picture. Yeah, they all fit in one.
You can find a picture of them in the game.
Yeah,
there's a portrait of them hanging up. Yeah, and what's really cool, because I went on the website because I'm obsessed. If you look at the development team, you can see they all list like their 3 to 5 favorite video games of all time, and you can see how they played into this game, and they all have excellent taste in games. I mean, it's like BioShock, Final Fantasy X, like it's like all incredible. Yeah, like really like huge, impactful games on the industry, and you can feel that in the game.
Ubisoft. Yeah. I'm so happy that you liked it, because like I said, that's what's great about gaming, is when a game just like takes over I can't wait to play this. I'm thinking about it when I'm not playing it. What's going to happen next? Or how can I level up my character? They're going to be so much more badass. Or I just learned this new thing before I went to bed last night. I can't wait to try it out tomorrow.
Yes.
All that stuff that makes gaming so great. I'm glad you got that experience.
I feel like a teenager again. Like it just totally brought out the kid in me. It's just incredible. And it really truly shows that the industry won't die, because I think if we can get more groups like this to break off and put their passion into games, because we've done episodes on like the corporate greed of it all, and like all these big AAA games that are releasing unfinished games with DLC. EA for sure. Unfinished games, and then all this DLC, and then microtransactions and stuff that's just like rewashed, and we've played it before, but like this game is like the embodiment of what the industry used to be,
and it still exists. And it's what, $49.99?
Yes,
I think.
Yeah.
Most games are $70 now, and we're talking about even higher with all these new things going on. To drop it, at $49.99 is.
And they didn't make it open world and all buy these outfits, and it's just perfect. It's just what.
Is there any DLC for it yet?
No,
or
but
will there be?
I'll buy it.
I wonder if there will be.
If they release it, I honestly have this hope that they release DLC that's like free to say thank you to the fans, because it's doing so much better than they expected.
Just like cosmetic stuff, or
maybe cosmetic, maybe like I would love. And
I've seen a decent amount of gameplay, and it seems like I've seen every different character wear that like black and white striped jail shirt.
yeah, it was like a French outfit.
Yeah, I've seen everybody wear that.
If they do release DLC gameplay, I am begging Sandfall to do DLC for Expedition 60. I want it so bad.
Expedition 60.
Yes, I want DLC. I want to play as Expedition 60 because those were some motherfuckers. I want to play as that so bad. Finding their journals.
I don't even know what that is, and that sounds cool that you got to like tease with it or ran across some lore that stuck out.
If they could do short ass DLC for any of the expeditions. They're all cool. They couldn't possibly do a sequel because how do you match this? How do you follow this up? There's no way. But whatever game this developer releases next, I'm buying it. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's. I don't care.
Yeah, I feel like they're former Ubisoft. I just saw a stat today that said, and I think we kind of, when Assassin's Creed Shadows came out, which is obviously Ubisoft, we were like, this game's doing well. Apparently, it's good. But I saw a thing today that Red Dead Redemption 2 has outsold Assassin's Creed Shadows this year.
Ooh.
Which has been out for like 8 years.
Ooh. Yikes. The people I've talked to have really enjoyed Shadows. But I fell off of Assassin's Creed because it started feeling like it was following the formula of Call of Duty, where it was like regurgitating everything.
Yeah. And this is the one that came out after they like took a break from making Assassin's Creed.
So
there's always, I've loved Ubisoft games for the most part though. Like Far Cry games are awesome. There's a lot of good Assassin's Creed. So it doesn't surprise me that some like really talented people left to make Expedition. Or I don't know.
And
we still don't know the facts on if they're with. I think they're former Ubisoft.
Yeah, they are former. I don't know.
Regardless, there's some really talented, passionate people because there are really good Ubisoft games.
And that just makes me wonder how many talented game developers are trapped in this corporate greed agenda. Like how many of them are stuck at like a AAA studio because they don't have the funds or the means to start their own, but they could create a fucking banger like Clair Obscur. Like, how many more are out there like this? Like, get them out.
Would you rather call it Clair Obscur than 33?
I call it Expedition 33 because I know I'm pronouncing it correctly. I'm getting better with Clair Obscur because I'm hearing streamers pronounce it. But Expedition 33 makes me sound like I'm not uncultured.
I want to say this originated, and tell me if I'm wrong because you've probably looked up everything on the game now, that this kind of came from what the Clair Obscur is really art. Right?
Yeah.
Like that's the art part of it that like already existed before the video game did.
Yeah.
I mean, Expedition 33.
The whole game is art.
The main title, but
it's
the Clair Obscur part already existed in some kind of form of.
Well, they released when they were looking for voice actors like 5 years ago when the game first started developing, they released gameplay of like the original like we just started putting this together. The game looks completely different. There's like mech and like very like it almost feels like cyberpunky and like it looks very different. I love the direction that they ended up going, but people are kind of giving them a little hate online for it, and I'm like, why aren't you happy that it ended where it is? Like like I think this, I mean, the voice acting, the Gustav, the protagonist that you play as, he's Daredevil in the Daredevil series, the live action.
Okay.
And then Mael, she is Shadowheart from Baldur's Gate. They have incredible voice actors. And they got them from.
Did you recognize that one immediately?
I didn't recognize that it was her immediately. I recognized the voice and I looked her up and I was like, aha.
Is it one of those? It's not her natural voice. Like
no, it's literally her.
She does voice. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm bad with that stuff.
Okay.
But it's perfect. Like.
So. Have any of your friends played it? Is it still just you?
My friend Joe played it because he loves the same kind of turn-based stuff like Persona and stuff that we do. Mm-hmm. So he was playing Metaphor at the same time as me. We were both stuck around the same spot. And when I found Clair Obscur, I texted him, or I actually texted his girlfriend and was like, tell Joe about this. And he booted it up that night. And we've both been like bonding over it.
Yeah, so you've had at least someone to talk about it with. Because that's a big thing.
Because when he hits those big moments, he texts me right away like, oh my God, I can't believe this. I'm crying. I'm like, I know.
I feel like, everybody's jumped on that. I mean, it's got like the highest user Metacritic score.
Yeah.
It's
Like in history.
tied for the highest. It's at like 97%, which is ridiculous because people just review bomb shit to do it these days.
Yeah.
So just to see it that high is
Well,
crazy.
and there's people online that are like bitching about it because it's turn-based. And here's my thing. You don't have to like it to understand that it's a good game. I don't like Souls-like games. I'll never play Elden Ring. I think it's one of the best games out there. I think objectively it's an incredible game. I wouldn't go out there.
You just really don't like parrying at all.
No.
Ever.
No. That's for sure it.
And Elden Ring Dark Souls
Right.
heavily leans into
Not
that.
my kind of game, but objectively I know that it's a great game. So I wouldn't go online and bitch about it. And that's what people do. And it actually has gotten me a little angry, I'll admit, is seeing people bitch about turn-based. Let us have this. I haven't gotten a lot of turn-based games. They're still out there. It's not dead.
Yeah,
but
Pokemon.
Right. Like it's still out there, but this is just like totally revitalized and I'm loving it. And if you don't like turn-based, then don't play it. You can still admit it's a good game.
Yeah, and I think, when, Persona has always done pretty well since Persona 3.
Yeah.
But same kind of thing. Like, it kind of reestablished, you forgot how good turn-based can be?
Right.
Here's a kick-ass. And Metaphor kind of, it's
Yeah.
been 6-7 years since Persona came out. Then Atlas drops Metaphor, and it's like, oh, yeah, you remember how good turn-based can be?
Right.
So it's the same kind of thing. And kind of to wrap this up, I guess, is... This game, it can't kind of, and I mentioned it a little bit earlier, it kind of came out of nowhere. Like I think it was promoted 6 months and even a year out, but no one really paid attention. So it's
Nope,
almost
not
like
me.
it's almost like it exploded on the scene out of nowhere.
It was just
I
people.
feel like
it
we
was
can
word of
still call it
mouth.
that, yeah.
Yeah. Because that's just. I just saw people posting about it, and that's what it was. Like it really. I don't remember any sort of marketing for this game at all, and I'm sure I saw it, but it just like.
There were some trailers. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
like right-
Gamescom, here's this thing.
Yeah.
But it didn't like blow up in the media like, hey, look out for this game coming
Right.
out, March 28th. It wasn't like
And it
that
took
at all.
the gaming world by storm immediately because I downloaded that game and the next day I had like 30 friends on Facebook posting about it. Like it just
Yeah, it just
everyone
took-
was
it
just
took-
suddenly
it
in
just
it.
took over.
And I think, and that's kind of huge too, because it came out almost the same time as the Oblivion remaster, which is a known, well-loved game. And there was other indie games that I can't remember that were complaining that they just got totally overshadowed by the sudden release of the remaster. But Clair Obscur didn't. And I think that says something.
Yeah, I saw multiple things about how they kind of helped each other because
Yeah.
people got into the whole RPG thing.
Yeah.
Because you're right. The Oblivion remaster from Bethesda dropped in the same.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, that one was really out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I was trying to see where. Man, I can't remember where they. It was within a few days of each other, not even a week of each other. They all came out like.
So soon.
Clair Obscur came out on like Tuesday, and then Oblivion dropped on Friday.
That's what it was, because I bought Clair Obscur, and then like right after that, Zach got Oblivion.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've been playing it the two side by side because I've been watching him.
Yeah. And we're getting ready to do a piece on that. Is there anything else you wanted to say about
I love it.
Clair Obscur?
It changed my life.
33? Go play it immediately if you haven't yet, like me. And then we're going to do a piece on Oblivion. So that was a good transition into the close here. Zach's going to come on and talk about that. He's been playing it a ton. You guys have some fucking lighting effects going. You're going all in on Oblivion, and I can't wait for that too because I've played Oblivion and I've played Skyrim, and I love Oblivion way more.
Zach too.
To the point where I didn't even finish Skyrim or wasn't even interested. It's weird how I felt about Skyrim, and I'll talk about that later, but I loved Oblivion. And it's coming up with some good memes.
Oh,
Like, there's like someone like parking in the Walmart parking lot, and there's an Oblivion gate. So I can't even get around without seeing one of these damn Oblivion gates. So that'd be exciting. Good to be back. Thanks for hanging out with us to talk about two of our favorite games. I guess we can say Expedition 33 is one of our favorite games now, at least as a podcast, full force. So that's been fun. And then we'll be back to talk about Oblivion. Alyssa?
Goodbye.
Goodbye.